Welcome to Elevate Springfield, where we will dive into strategies and stories that help you rise to your full potential. Each episode, we'll talk about how you can take intentional steps to elevate your life and your business while making a meaningful impact on those around you. Along the way, we're going to bring in the change makers from our community that are already elevating. We'll bring the actionable strategies, you bring the discipline and follow through, and together we can elevate Springfield.
All right, let's go, Springfield. Time to 10x your day, 10x your life, 10x all of it. And that includes Springfield, y'all. You are listening to the Elevate Springfield podcast. Robert Ferriell here, certified 10x coach, speaker, and mentor, here to bring you actionable strategies. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together we're going to elevate Springfield. You are listening to your weekly battle plan here on Elevate Springfield, where every Sunday we're going to give you ways to control time, ways to create time, and some things that we encourage you add to that battle plan. We're going to get right to it after the break.
Looking for expert tree care with hometown integrity? Look no further than Sangamon Tree Service. They're your trusted local pros, delivering quality workmanship, exceptional customer service, and fair, honest pricing every time. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, their team brings professionalism and care to every job, big or small. Call the name your neighbors trust, Sangamon Tree Service, or visit them today at sangamontreeservice.com. Sangamon Tree Service, rooted in quality, built on trust.
And we are back. Another great week in store on Elevate Springfield. Tomorrow on Monday, we're going to have Blake Middleton from Elite Roofing Professionals, have his interview there. On Tuesday, we've got Ellie coming back in for Next Gen. Then on Wednesday, we visited with Wouldn't It Be Lovely? Great organization here in town doing very impactful work. Then on Thursday, we're going to have Milas Copeland in from Green. And on Friday, Kylie Melvin is going to be back for the wellness upgrade. And then, of course, we're going to have another training for you on Separation Saturday. Hey, before we talk about our time topic for the day, couple of things you can add to your battle plan. As you know, I am highly involved in Local First Springfield. We've got some great things coming up. We've got a really busy June for Local First Springfield. This week, we've got the Local First ribbon cutting. That's Tuesday, June 2nd at 4 p.m. over at the Chatham Area Chamber of Commerce. Then on June 3rd, we have the Rock the Dock preview party. We partnered up with them for another great event. So June 3rd, come on out, 5 o'clock. If you're a Local First Springfield member, you get 2 free drink tickets. Then the West Side Market's coming up right around the corner. That's actually in 2 weeks, June 14th, 2 to 5. Local First, we're going to have our dunk tank there. Jack Geyser's going to be mostly on that bench. Come on out and give him a dunk. Then Thursday, June 25th, we've got networking on the green. You know, on this show, we talk about communities grow together all the time. This is a joint event between Local First Springfield, Land of Lincoln Professional Networking Group, the Springfield Chamber of Commerce, Central Illinois Customer Service Association, and the Chatham Chamber of Commerce. So a great way for all of us to come together at the Memorial Health Championship. That's Thursday, June 25th, 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. Of course, there's so much great stuff going on, fun-wise, too, in Springfield. Levitt started up. A lot of great concerts there on Thursday nights. So get out there, get involved, like we always say. So what I'd like to dive into today is how processes and time are intertwined, because everything we do in 10X, we have processes embedded in each thing. We have systems embedded in each part of the business cycle. When you control the process, you control the systems, you own the results, and you own your time. But you have to control your time before you can control your process. Because we know that if you control the process, you control the results. But With that, a lot of people ignore the time part of that. And, on Sundays, we talk all about time because it's very, very important. Because if you don't control your time, you can't control your process. And if you can't control your process, you'll never control your results. You see, a lot of people can focus on the results. Say, I want more money, I want more clients, I want success, right? But those results are delayed. Before you get to those results, you have to control the process. You have to control your actions. Those results are a result of your processes and action. People tend to obsess over outcomes they don't control immediately while ignoring the inputs that they do control right now. And that's where we can lose. So, what can we actually control? We can control our actions, our effort, our frequency, our volume, our consistency. Those are all processes, and those are all pieces of larger processes that we talk about in 10X. GC always talks about massive, consistent action in the process creates predictable results. But deeper than that, there's that other variable, like we talked about, that people miss, and that's time. Because every call you make takes time. Every post you make for social media takes time. Every follow-up you have takes time. See, your results are not just a reflection of your process, they're a reflection of how you control your time. If your time is scattered, your process will be scattered. If your process is scattered, your results are going to be inconsistent. That is why some people know what to do, but still fail. They don't control when and how often they do it. See, a lot of people don't have a work problem. They have a time control problem. We've talked before how people always say, I don't have enough time. I'm too busy. I'll get to it later. But we challenge that, because the issue isn't the time, it's who controls it and what your priorities are. Because if you don't control your schedule, other people will, distractions will, or low value tasks will. And suddenly your day's full and your process that you had or said you had didn't happen. So let's talk a little bit about time allocation and how that equates to process execution. So say your goal is more sales or more growth or more visibility, then your process might be 50 calls a day, 3 social posts a day, 10 follow-ups a day, right? But here's the question: where is that scheduled in your time? Because if it's not scheduled, it's not real. We've talked about time blocking before, and GC is really big on that. Blocking time out for production, not when you feel like it, not when you have time, but hey, from 9 to 10, I'm doing this. From 10 to 11, I'm doing this. Or if you want to go into those 15-minute chunks like we've talked about, from 9 to 9:15, we're doing this. 9:15 to 9:30, we're doing this, and so on. So here's why most people lose control of that time. They react instead of prioritize and plan. They prioritize comfort over production. They underestimate how long things take, or they overestimate how much they will do later, right? Quote unquote, later. And here's a big one. They don't treat time like money. Cardone often says time is your most valuable asset, but most people spend it like it's unlimited, scrolling, waiting, avoiding. Meanwhile, the processes, those things that create the results, never get executed. See, high performers don't just work hard, they control when they work, what they work on, and how long they stay focused. They don't leave their day open to chance. They design it because they understand if you don't dominate your schedule will dominate you. And when your schedule dominates you, your process disappears. So how does this all connect? You see, time is where those actions live. Process is what you do in that time, and results are what come from that process. So the chain looks like this. Starts with time control, then to process control, which goes to result control. Break any part of that chain and everything falls apart. But remember our main principle in 10X, or one of the main principles, is massive action and 10X your actions. You can't 10X your actions if you don't 10X your control of time, because like we talked about, when you're making more calls, when you're making more content, when you're doing more outreach, that's more time allocated. See, sometimes people just say, I'll just do more, but don't change their schedule, and nothing changes. So some actionable stuff you could do today. Define your processes. We've talked a lot about the 10X processes. You could go back to some of the other episodes and check out some of those and utilize those, or give us a shout and we can help you out with processes through Big Dog Business Coaching. So what actions actually create results right now for you? And be specific. And then assign time to each action. Don't just list the tasks, schedule them, put them in the calendar, and then protect that time. Treat it like an appointment. No distractions, no excuses, nothing. Treat it like an appointment. And then increase time in your schedule for those high value activities. We've touched on that before. You got to get those low value activities out and make room for those high value activities. Give it more time, not less. And then eliminate those time wasters. I gave you guys an assignment a while back talking about finding all the ways you are wasting time and how you can eliminate that. So this is where that comes in. Eliminate those time wasters. See, a lot of times you don't have a motivation problem. You don't have a strategy problem. You have a time control problem, because if you truly controlled your time, you would execute the process. And if you executed the process consistently, the results would follow. Because remember, you can control your time, your actions, and your consistency. And when you take full ownership of those, results stop being random. They become predictable. Control your time, because that's where that process lives. Hope that helps. And we'll be back after the break.
Hey, Springfield, when it comes to reliable, high-quality roofing, you don't want to leave things to chance. That's why you should reach out to Acosta Angeli Roofing, your local roofing experts serving Springfield and surrounding communities. From quick, dependable repairs to full replacement, from residential to commercial, they are your trusted pros. Call them today at 217-993-2748 or visit their website to book your free quote and inspection. Don't wait. A little leak now could lead to major damage later. Trust the local experts, protect your home, and get peace of mind with Acosta Angeli Roofing. Well, thank you for joining us today, everybody. Appreciate you making us a part of your day. Hey, don't forget, while you're out on social, check ours out. You can check my personal one out at Robert Ferriell, at everywhere. Check out those Elevate Springfield pages, those Big Dog Business Coaching pages as well. Check us out over on YouTube. Give us a subscribe, give us a like or a follow on any of those channels. We would certainly appreciate it. So hey, take what you learned today. You bring the discipline and follow through, and together, that's right, y'all, we're going to elevate Springfield. Be great.
When I first walked into Shudokan Karate Club, I was just looking for a way to get stronger, but what I found was so much more. Here we train in traditional karate, the real stuff, passed down through generations. Every punch, every kata has purpose. I've learned self-discipline, confidence, and how to protect myself. Not just in class, but in real life. It's not about being aggressive, it's about being prepared. This is more than a club, it's a way of life. Join us at Shudokan, traditional, powerful, real. Ki-ai!